Let's take a tour around the Singer Start 1304 sewing machine so you know a few of the things I'll be talking about and also give you some hints of using it successfully. So number one, we have just finished threading and winding a bobbin. So we talked about good quality thread. So if you have old thread, cheap thread, you paid 50 cents a spool thread, let's not use that thread. This machine, if it is fed good quality thread, you're going to have a better result. Also, if you use the same thread in your needle as you do in the bobbin area, everything is going to be balanced. So you do have everything you need to know is on this single dial. We have one dial that is tension. Now we are going to talk tension, but when your thread is balanced with the same weight in the needle and bobbin, leave it at 4. Now, if somebody was to move your tension and change it to a different number, we all have little fingers that like to come visit us. Guess what? All you do is turn it back to where it should be. So leave it at 4. And we're going to talk of other things to check if your sewing is not the way it's supposed to be. Your stitches are they're loose or they're tight or your thread breaks. There's other things to check before you adjust the tension. Needles make all the difference in the world, so make sure you have a handful of different kinds of needles for the different fabrics you're working with, and also that you use the bobbins that come with this machine. So you're not just taking bobbins from an older machine and trying to use it in this, unless they are exact. It is a class 15 bobbin that is used in this machine. You have a presser foot that lifts and lowers right on the inside of the machine. You can use your right hand or left hand, either way. And you do need to lower it when you sew. You also need to have your presser foot up when you thread the machine. And then that way everything's open, all the discs are open, all the guides are open, and then that way when you go to sew, everything is placed where it should be. On the stitch dial, so you have 3 straight stitches. This is going to be a short stitch length, a medium stitch length, and a longer one. A longer one if you're working on some thicker fabrics, some denim, some fleeces, do that. If you're looking for just a nice middle size of stitch length, use the middle one. Lighter weight fabrics, very thin, you're going to want a little tighter seam, use the shortest stitch length. And sew out each of the stitches so you know how they are designed to look. Zigzag, we have kind of a narrow, medium, and wide version, and this can be actually a satin stitch for applique. There's a zigzag that actually looks like it has little dots going to each side. We're going to use that as a mending stitch. And so check out our mending stitch video. Blind hem, excellent. A decorative stitch. I'm going to show you some fun things there. And then a 4-step buttonhole, which by the way, there's a buttonhole foot that comes with this machine. So let's just go ahead and on a straight stitch, when you're sewing along, I want to show you what this lever is. This is for going backwards and forward. So depending on when you get to the end of the seam, you usually want to lock it. So you sew all the way to the end, hold this down for a back stitch, and I guarantee that thread is not going to come out. Now, when you're done, make sure that you are always turning the hand wheel towards you, bringing the take-up lever above the housing so you can see it and it can see you, and then lift up your presser foot, bring your fabric to the side, and there's a little thread cutter on the side. You can go from back to front or front to back and not have to reach for your scissors. So I'd like you to try out all the stitches. And again, when you change this dial, make sure your needle's not in the fabric. So if you're trying them all out and you stop with the needle down, don't switch this. That is going to kind of bend the needle in the fabric. Once you turn that so the needle's up, pick your next stitch, continue on. So you can just pick, I'm going to go like that, showing all the different stitches it can do. Again, when you're done, needle's up, take-up lever is not, turn the hand wheel towards you until it is, and then lift up your presser foot and pull it out. By also bringing this up to the top, you are finishing the last stitch. Isn't that fun? Little kind of a little multiple point zigzag there. You're finishing that last stitch, so that way when you start again, you don't have to hold on to these threads. They're actually right where they need to be. You can pick your stitch and sew without having to worry about those threads. All right, let's get into some of the other fun things that the Singer Start 1304 can do for you.